Welcome back to Let's Play Corruption of Champions Episode 3. In our last episode, we gained the beautiful blade, and now we're gonna continue exploring until we find more locations. Explore. You stumble across as the ground shifts underneath you. Groaning in frustration, you straighten up and discover the rough feeling of sand inside your footwear between your toes. You've discovered a desert. The desert, sorry. I will continue exploring, then if I don't find anything in another 2 or 3 bouts, I will go to the desert. Oh great. Okay. As you travel, you see a person on the road. He's tethered, tethered, I don't know how to pronounce that word. He is tethered to a small cart that is overloaded with a hog podded. How the hell do you pronounce that word? Of items. He is dressed in very garnished manner, having a broad multicolored hat. Bro- brocaded coat, and large striped platoons. His appearance is almost comical and contrasts with his severe hawkish facial features. The man sees you, smiles and stops his cart. Greetings, traveler. My name is Gaikomo. Okay, I think I'm gonna try to do Kafka voice because that's what I think when I read how he's dressed. So I am, as you can see, a humble purveyor of items, curious and other accompaniments. While I am not in a position to show you my full wares, as my shop is packed on this pushcart, I do offer small trinkets for the travelers I meet. The merchant looks at you sharply and cracks a wide, toothy smile. You find unnerving. Ugh. The merchant twists his way around to access a sack he has around his back. After a moment, he swings the sack from his back to have better access to its contents. Inquisitively, the merchant turns back to you. So, stranger, be you interested in some drafts to aid you in your travels? Some quick pamphlets to warn you of dangers on your journeys? Or, Giacomo pauses and turns his head in both directions in a mocking gesture of paranoid observation. His little theorix does not make you wonder what he's about to offer. Maybe you would be interested in some items that can enhance the pleasures of the flesh. Hmm? Giacomo grins. Giacomo grins is nothing short of creepy. He offers his wares to you. What are you interested in? Well, I am sort of short on gems, so I'm not gonna open up his shop, even though I can, but I think I'll do it later. So I'll leave. Okay, another 2 bolts. Oh great, now we finally get into a fight that has a sex scene in the end. A goblin saunters out of the bushes with a dangerous glint in her eyes. She says, "Time to get fucked!" I'm not gonna say stud, I don't like it. The goblin before you is a typical example of her species, with dark green skin, pointed ears, and purple hair that will look more would look more like at home with on a punk rocker. She is only about 3 feet tall, but makes up for it with with her curvy body, sporting hips and breasts that would entice any of the men in your village. It, were she full size. There isn't a single scrap of clothing on her, just lewd leather straps that and a few clinking pouches. She does not she does sport quite a lot of piercings. The most noticeable being large studs hanging from her purple nipples. Wait, if she has purple nipples, then if you twist them, would it make it blue? Just wondering. Or would it make it red? Her eyes are fiery red and particularly glow with lust. This one isn't going to be satisfied until she has her way with you. It shouldn't be too hard for to subdue such a little creature, right? You see, she is in perfect health, 100% HP. Now that we are in the now that we are in, I think, our first battle, I think, for this whole entire game, we have these multiple options. Attack, which does an attack of whatever weapon that you have equipped. Thief, which increases the loss of your enemies. Spells, you can use spells that you gain by spellbooks. I will explain how you gain spellbooks later. Items, you can use items in battle, but they do not aid you whatsoever other than give you those crazy effects that they give you outside of battle, so there's no real point. P specials are physical special attacks that are gained by either items that you gain in the world or body parts that you gain in the world eventually. Mental or supernatural specials are mental or supernatural special attacks. Wait just allows you to take no action and let your enemy openly attack you. I don't know why would you do that, but whatever. And fantasize. Fantasize about your opponent in a sexual way. It's probably a pretty bad idea unless you want to end up getting raped. This is actually a lie, because once you gain spells, fantasize does actually have a use. So, since we are just fighting a goblin and we have the beautiful blade, I guess we'll just attack. Wow. The goblin definitely avoids your slow attack. The goblin grabs her heel and lifts it to her head in an amazing display of flexibility. She caresses her snatch and gives she caresses her twat and gives you a come hither look. The display distress you long enough to prevent you from taking advantage of her awkward pose, leaving you more than a little flushed. Or should I say, pale, if you get my joke. You hit the goblin for 33. The goblin bends over, putting on a show and jiggling her heart-shaped ass at you. She looks over her shoulder and sucks her finger, batting her eyelash, and that display distracts you long enough to prevent you from taking advantage of her awkward pose, leaving you more than a little flush. Why wouldn't it just die? I just want to kill you. The goblin uncorks a bottle full of red liquid. She swings her arms, flinging a wave of fluid at you. The red fluid hits you instantly and soaks your skin. Disappearing, your skin flushes and you feel warm. Oh no. I don't get that. Your fat-sized prick pulses and twitches, overwhelmed by the desire to breathe. If you don't finish soon, you'll give in to this potent drug. You hit the goblin for 36. The goblin falls down, smashing her tits flat on the ground and crying softly in pain. She looks up at you and sniffles. You grab 7 gems and 11 experience from your victory. There is a flagon of potent goblin ale from your defeated opponent. You place the flagon of potent goblin ale in your first pouch. Well, now I'm bounded by my rule of drinking or eating whatever I have, so now I have to eat the goblin ale. Great. Oh, son of a... You drink the ale and to find you have remarkably smooth yet potent taste. You lick your lips and sneeze, feeling slightly tipsy. The world spins around you, not just from the strength of the drink. Your viewpoint is closer to the ground. How fun! Whoa, this is weird. You just hallucinated that your skin has turned dark green. No way! It's staying? It really changed color? A weird tingle runs through your scalp as your short white hair shifts slightly. You reach up to touch a bump. Your new pointed elfin ears. You bet they look cute. Oh, by the way, if your lust is a bit too high, you can get rid of it by masturbating. I don't think I need to explain how it works. So, since I promised you to go to the desert, I'm going to the desert now. A small plume of dust rises in the distance, betraying the position of something else moving. Amongst the sandy dunes, it grows larger as it approaches your position, revealing a bulky, distorted shape lurking inside the cloud. You cautiously approach, preparing to face some new demonic monstrosity. As the sandy clouds part, the blurred figure resolves itself into two distinct outlines. One, one on the left is a man carrying a heavy loaded wheelbarrow, struggling not to stumble in the desert soil. Slightly behind him, to the right of the man, is a shapely woman. Her demonic origins plain to anyone who notices the spikes on her head. As they are near, as they near, the man notices your presence and calls out to you, "Ho, traveler! Fine day, isn't it?" The strange pair, close to into intervening distance, allowing you to make more of their forms. As expected, the succubus is quite a beauty, with curvy flesh and in all the right places. The man introduces himself as he struggles to deal with his heavy load. "I am Marcus, former traveler of extraordinary places and seeker of forbidden knowledge. Though all of that was a long time ago. I am retired, you see. I settled down with my new partner, Lucia." Marcus gestures indicating the bored-looking succubus accompanying him. You start to greet him, but nearly faint in shock. Marcus's wheelbarrow isn't full of cargo. It's the only thing that's keeping his oversized balls from dragging in the sand. I don't know why I emphasize on balls. I just like to. He smiles at you. He smiles at your reaction and winks mutely. Why do you think I keep a succubus around? If I don't empty these puppies every hour or two, I damn near explode. Looking thoughtfully for a moment, Marcus nods at you and asks, "I don't suppose you have a moment to help me with my with a quandary I've been having." So now I have two options. Either I leave him or I help him. Well, since I'm a champion, I should help him. "Oh good," he exclaims as he begins elaborating. "My dear succubus here is growing tired of our arrangement. She wants me to give up the last of my humanity and become a demon like her. I'm not really sure if I want to lose my soul, but at the same time, I know enough about their kind to I really enjoy being an incubus, if you know what I mean." Before I make the plunge, I'd like a second opinion. What do you think? He glances over his shoulder with almost a small measure of fear. I'm gonna leave you guys to decide this. So, see you guys on the next episode. Nah, just kidding. I'm gonna make this choice on my own. Well, he knows a lot about demons. So, I would have to say, just go with it, man. Go become a demon. If you enjoy it, do it. Lucia breaks into a mischievous smile and suggests, as you suggest taking up her offer. She sashays over to you, flesh jiggling excitingly the whole way. She leans close, sliding her slender fingers down the center of your chest. Thank you for this. Should we meet again? I promise rewards fit. I promise rewards fit to make a whore faint. Marcus raises an eyebrow at the exchange, but smiles at, as his demonic lover returns to his side. Lucia winks again, and huge wings explode from her back. She grabs Marcus, who bleats in surprise, and lifts off, flying away with her prize to her lair. Well, now that we're back to camp, see you guys on the next episode. I have nothing much left to elaborate, so see you. Save. Slot 2. And goodbye.